everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing my December TBR. I can't believe we are in the last month of 2019. This year has gone by so quickly that I feel like I just recently filmed like a best book of 2018 and now I'm going to be filming my best book of 2019 soon. So anyways, this video is going to be my December TBR because honestly, my reading progress in November was complete crap. I read one book and I dabbled in a few other, but from start to finish, I read one book and it wasn't even that chunky of a book, so I can't really sit here and film a November wrap up with a one book being read. But I do want to discuss the many books that I need to read in December, and hopefully this will get me out of my reading slump because I did fall into a reading slump in November and I have found a pattern. I feel like every time I finish a really intense readathon, especially like Dewey's readathon, I read so much during Dewey's 24-hour readathon at the end of October that I just fell into a massive reading slump in November. So I need to get myself out of it for December because I have so many books that I actually have to read. So anyways, let's just get the one book that I read in November out of the way. I did film a reading vlog of me reading this book, and it is titled The Worst Adult Romance Book That I Have Ever Read, and I still stand by that. I gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars. So I read On Dublin Street by Samantha Young, and I had recently read Flight or Fight by Samantha Young, and I really enjoyed it. I loved her writing style. I loved her characters. I loved the way she created sass and banter between two characters and two like love interests. So I picked up On Dublin Street, and this book was horrible. The relationship was so bad. It was so unhealthy. The main character was so controlling and possessive, and it was basically Twilight on steroids. Okay, when I think of Twilight, I think more of Edward being protective. This is more of this guy being possessive, not just protective. And he would like force her to do things, and it was super unhealthy. I really didn't like it, and also I felt like it was really vulgar. I didn't like the romance, and I am trash for romance. I love romance. It takes a lot to really skew me away from a romance novel. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a prude at all when reading romance, but this one was just not tasteful, vulgar. Just like, I found myself like cringing listening to it, and I don't know. The only reason I didn't DNF it is because I had gotten through so much of it already. I decided to just finish it out, and honestly I just finished it out just to like, because it was just getting to the point where it was so comical. It was so ridiculous. If you want to hear more about me ranting about this book, then I will leave that link down below because it was bad. I really didn't like it. So anyways, now jumping into December and my TBR for December, I have quite a bit that I want to do. Also, I really want to participate in the Winter Magical Readathon that is hosted by Book Roast. She is amazing. She basically hosts this elaborate Harry Potter readathon throughout the year. She has the owls and the newts, and she did a winter one for December, and it's phenomenal. I'll leave her video down below explaining all of it. The way she did it for this readathon is we aren't going to know the prompts ahead of time, so it's more spontaneous, so I can't really prepare for those. So I'm really hoping the prompts I get I can use towards the books that I am currently reading, because I have quite a bit of chunky books that I have to read. So basically it's kind of like a choose your adventure type of readathon. There are going to be 5 chapters, and each part will have different scenarios, and you have to choose like what you would do in that scenario, and it'll eventually lead you to a prompt depending on what you choose. So luckily I already did the first chapter, and my prompt was to read a book in a duology, so I got really lucky with that because I am currently listening to Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. This is the second book in the Six of Crows duology, and this is the book for our Muggles Studies book club, and our live show is going to be this Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. I am really enjoying the audiobook. I am about 130 pages in. This is quite a chunky book, and my audiobook is telling me that I still have about 13 hours and 45 minutes remaining, so I have quite a bit to listen to in the next few days. The next book that I really need to read is Children of Blood and Bone, because our Muggle Studies book club pick for December is Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which is the second book in this series by Tomi Adeyemi, and I haven't read this one yet. Hannah actually gave this to me for Christmas last year. It was our book exchange where she read it, annotated in it, and then she sent it to me. So it's gonna be really fun to read and see everything, like all her thoughts, see what she annotated and what she wrote. I'm really excited to read it. Next, I have to read Sea Swept by Nora Roberts. I have already started this one. I am about 50 or so pages through. So Hannah and I decided to continue along with our book exchange for December, and this month we decided to pick two books. One of them is our favorite book, and she is doing Garden Spells, and for me I'm doing Sea Swept by Nora Roberts, and then we are also doing another book that we are not going to be telling each other. It's going to be a surprise, and that book is going to be like a new adult romance, and we are going to read it, annotate it in it, and then send it to the other one. So I've already started annotating in this one, and I'm really enjoying like paying closer attention to my favorite book and highlighting and reading, and it's just now that I'm actually annotating in it, I am picking up on new things, which is always exciting. It's just so fantastic that you can read a book numerous times and pick up on something new every time. So that is a lot of fun. So that is it for my December TBR. I really hope this TBR pile gets me out of my reading slump, and I'm very excited to participate in the winter magical readathon, so I really hope that gets me out of my reading slump as well. Let me know some of the books that you plan on reading in December, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!